And one of the things I love about Kim Komando today is I get to interview some really interesting people. And joining us is Titan Crawford. Isn't that a great name, Andrew? Titan Crawford.
Sounds like a professional wrestler.
Yes.
You know
Here,
what,
you can do
Titan?
it.
I'm going to take you down this Sunday at the Palace in Detroit, and me and you are going head to head in the cage.
Obviously, he's been watching too much wrestling matches, too many of them. So Titan, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. And so would we call you the Good Samaritan of cars on Facebook? Is that it?
Well, thanks for having me, brother. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, it's I guess you could call us the community group of Good Samaritans that find stolen cars on Facebook.
So how did you get into this?
It was about 2.5 years ago in October, middle of the pandemic, and walking my dog Timmy, who's hanging out here down with me. We found a out of place Kia that was disheveled and trash everywhere, and so we contacted police. And at that time, there was no police interest. It had yet to be reported stolen, and so through some sleuthing, we discovered that in fact it was stolen, and were able to contact the owner thanks to the magic of the internet, and let them know, hey, your car is probably not in your driveway right now. So, and it took off from there.
And so how many people are in the Facebook group now?
We got a little over 20,000 in there.
Now, I was in Portland like 2 summers ago, and when I landed and we got in the Uber, I asked the Uber driver, could you take us on a scenic route before we get to the hotel? And he was like, sure. So we drove along the Columbia River that separates Vancouver and Portland. And I want to say, I don't want to exaggerate, I don't want to say like 1,000 cars are just sitting there right next to the river. They're burnt to a crisp. So Portland is like the perfect part of the country to do something like this.
Yeah, 2 years ago, it was extremely out of control. And that's kind of how it all started. You could turn a corner and there's a stolen car. The particular road you drove was Marine Drive. And all throughout Marine Drive was abandoned stolen cars because it's not really residential there. It's commercial traffic that moves through there, moving from one part of the city to the other. And so Marine Drive, 2 years ago, we were up there every day finding stolen cars, and a lot of them were burnt up or destroyed or stripped. And it's gotten a lot better since then, which is awesome.
Good.
But yeah, back then it was the wild, wild west of stolen cars. They were everywhere.
Now, why is that in Portland? I mean, because I don't see anything like that really happening in Phoenix.
It was a culmination of a bunch of events in the city. They lowered the police staffing. The pandemic played a huge role in how the city responded to everything. So people that were stealing the cars, if they did get, taken to jail, they'd get right back out at that point in time to go, steal another car, and they'd steal one and go back to wherever they were. So now we've got a little more accountability here in the city. Some of the people that were stealing 50, 60 cars a month per person, they've been incarcerated, and that reduces the amount of auto theft.
For sure. And so how many cars have you reunited with owners?
We've never kept track. We're in the thousands, probably between like 3,000 to 4,000, maybe more. We tried to keep track, and it was just too much to keep track of. So there was days, where you're finding 10 to 15 stolen cars, and to try and go through and count all those up day after day, we gave up after like 2 months. I have a team that helps me manage the group. There's 4 of us total. And so since we're always busy helping recover cars or finding cars, it was just one thing we just didn't have time for, because we're all volunteers. We don't get paid for this, and we do this outside of our jobs. So time is the one thing that we wish we had more of.
Now, if I was just a person in Portland and I'm walking around and I see what I think is a stolen car, like parked in an alley or something, am I allowed to snap a picture and put it up on the Facebook page so people can find it?
Yeah, 100%. And we've also got public information that allows us to check that for theft records through the National Crime Information Center. So we can run a VIN number, we can run a license plate, and see if it's been reported stolen.
So how do you keep track of who enters the Facebook group? I mean, what if it's a thief that wants to see what you guys are tracking?
Yeah, so we're a lot of firsts in the country. We're the first Facebook group to be private. So what it allows us to do is preview the people that want to join, and do a little research on them before they're able to join us. And so because of that, we're able to make sure the people that are up to no good aren't able to participate with us.
And so are you finding more and more cars have air tags on the inside?
Man, I wish everybody had a simple tracker in their car. 90% of these cars would be found in 24 hours if you had a well-hidden, that's the key word, a well-hidden tracker of an air tag, a tile, a smart tag of any type. If you hide it in a body panel to where it can't be retrieved out, that would eliminate 90% of these thefts or solve them quickly. So the people that have the air tags in their cars, they find them 9 times out of 10 within less than 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but now the air tags will give you a warning if there's an unknown tracker near you and your phone. They just fixed that. That was a big loophole, for stalkers. But now it's like you get in somebody's car, because I get in my son's car and he has a tracker on the inside, and then it says, "Oh, unknown tracker near you," and then it shows up with the last 4 digits of his cell phone number. But it's great that they finally fixed that, though.
Yeah, no, it's good for like your personal security. You don't want to be tracked by some stalker or anything, but for the protection of your property, it's great. And the last thing that, you want is your car to go missing. But if it does go missing, and if you can do a multi-layered approach like an air tag and then a different version, which like a tile, so you've got 2 different ways to track your car. And I've noticed that probably like 75% of these cars that have the air tags in them, they don't get identified by the people that have it as having an air tag, because maybe they're not using an iPhone. Maybe they're using an Android device, which are typically less expensive and more readily available, which is going to fit more of the demographic of the people who steal cars.
Yeah. Because on Android, you used to have to download that app out of the Google Play Store. Then it took 10 minutes for it to find it. And now finally Apple and Google is getting together. But, so you mentioned this is all volunteer. What do you do as a day job?
I'm in the auto industry. I've sold vehicles for 22 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
I know a lot about cars. And so this is kind of an extension of that. So for me personally, it's all cars all the time. Cars at work, cars off work, and just, I find stolen cars that happen to come by my work. That's a bad news for them, but makes it easy when they drive them up to my driveway.
So what kind of cars do you sell?
I sell used pickup trucks. So
do you?
There's good demand for that. And, got a lot of small businesses that need trucks for their business. So that's most of my clients.
Any cyber trucks on the lot?
No cyber truck yet.
You can't sell a cyber truck. Elon Musk is going to sue you for $50,000 if you sell it in the first year. Come on, Kim.
And I don't think we have the resources at my job to charge those trucks. So,
hey, Titan, thanks for being here. Andrew, you got to give him a good sign off.
Hey, brother, I'll see you in the Madison Square Garden. These 4-inch pythons against Tyson Crawford. Bring it, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me. And just you do what you can to secure your vehicle. A simple wheel club, a simple tracker. It doesn't have to be expensive, because there's all sorts of aftermarket, alarms and anti-theft and GPS out there. But the simple solutions are often the best.
You got it. Titan, thanks for being here.
Thanks, man.
Subscribe to the Kim Komando Show